Hello there, weary travelers, and welcome back to Shared Tangos, the Dota 2 podcast with Trent and Zyori. This episode's brought to you by Surviving Esports, the Zyori story, available in ebook, physical book, and audiobook on Amazon today.
Really?
Check it out, my friends.
How much did you pay the podcasters for this sponsorship?
I had my people talk to their people, and they were pretty reasonable. They were pretty reasonable. The virus
I heard
is out.
Very cheap.
Not a lot of people buying ads right now, and I picked it up for a nice bargain, bud. Trent, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I think I'm gonna charge you. What's your village fruit? I'll take 10 of those in exchange, sir.
This is big. I got oranges.
Oh, that's nice.
Is oranges?
That's
I wanted
pretty good.
peaches.
Everyone wants peaches, but the truth is, the best one to get is pears. And I got pears, and I was initially disappointed, but then I remembered why you want the worst one. Because personally, I hate pears. I just cut down all the pears. Fuck pears. Because I hate pears, and they're worth less in my town anyway. So now I got like 2 pear trees, and I got all the other the fruits that I want because they're worth more.
I noticed at my welcoming party, they took my oranges and they served orange juice at the party. Do you get pear juice, for example? Is it always the juice of whatever fruit it is?
You know what? I wasn't paying attention. I don't have a good answer for you. But
Okay. Because orange juice made a lot of sense. I was like, if this was peaches, would we be having a cobbler right now, or would we have peach juice? Which neighbors did you get?
I'm really glad you're taking into Animal Crossing. This is pleasing me. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, obviously it released on the 20th. Probably heard on the past podcast. I was pretty excited for it.
New Horizons. I did end up picking it up. I wasn't sure. Everything that Trent said, I think, was accurate. I understand exactly why you would think this is not a game for me, and I think it wouldn't be under most circumstances, but it's exactly what I was looking for. Chill, no sense of urgency. I can play for 10 minutes or an hour, and it's feel-good. I usually don't like these cutesy feel-good games, but this one is just that moment when it popped up and said, your island is ready. Now you can do anything you want. I was just like, dude, this game fucking rules. I also love the faux democracy. You know, when you name the island, everybody puts their name in, and they all just go, wow, your suggestion's really good. You're really smart. I love it, though. It's obviously kind of a kid's game, and it was cool to me that they planted that seed of, instead of you just naming it, of democracy, right? Like, it's cool to listen to your neighbors. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a really wholesome game. You should encourage kids to play this game.
It's too wholesome sometimes, because my villagers, I got Diva, which is like this purple toad. Can't stand her. Don't like Diva. And I got Samson the mouse. He's okay. But I'm an old school Animal Crossing player. There are certain villagers I've had in all my Animal Crossing games. I work hard to get them, and I haven't run into any of them yet. And my brother has one of mine, and so I'm a little upset. I'm working on stealing Bunny away from my brother's village.
I have Coach. I think was he a moose or a bear?
That's a good one. Yeah, he owns.
And I've got Agnes, who's
a pig.
Oh, I thought it was a badger. Agnes is a pig.
I think so. I'd have to check.
Maybe it is a pig.
I thought it was a pig when I looked at it. Yeah, it's definitely a pig dog.
Oh, yeah. Something about the coloring. I don't think of pigs as black and white like that. The nose is kind of a dead tell, but that coloring, I just immediately went, oh, it's a fucked up looking badger. I'm still not quite connected.
Definitely a pig.
with the Animal Crossing art style. I was pretty happy, though. I mean, I don't know what my options were, but I thought Agnes was pretty badass.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Everyone
has their favorites, and it's great. Yeah.
At first, I was overwhelmed, though, dude. There's too many decisions where they're like, well, tell me where I should set up my tent. I'm like, well, what are the parameters? Based on what? What's going to happen? Do I want you close to me, or do I want to have room for my garden? Or do we want to be neighbors? Are you going to come knocking on my door? There are so many unknowns, and this feels like a big decision.
Well, I'll tell you what's good about this one is that you can change everything eventually. No matter what you've done, you can completely control your entire island, down to the placing the rivers, sort of a deal. The water, all that kind of stuff. So live your life, have fun, and then that's kind of like the post game is like you then get to just do everything, like full God mode control. Which is new for Animal Crossing, so I've been enjoying that so far.
Yeah, I still haven't sunk that many hours into it, but I've just been playing it like at night when I'm winding down before bed for like 30, 40-minute stints.
That's what it's designed for. That's what's so beautiful about it.
It sucks though because I've been wanting to watch streams, but I don't want to get spoiled. So I've been avoiding pretty much all Animal Crossing content except for very wholesome little like pictures and stuff. But I'm also stunned at how prolific it is. It seems like everybody is playing. Even my friends that I don't really think of as gamers are playing Animal Crossing right now. Even in the Twitch chat, usually when we talk about other games, they're yelling at us to talk about Dota. Everybody's talking about their goddamn neighbors.
Yeah, dude. It's I don't know. I think a lot of people probably played it when they were younger. At least I did. It's had a couple generations. It was one of the better games on Nintendo consoles overall, especially like Nintendo 3DS. It's like the best possible game for a 3DS. When you like that's why it's so good for Switch for the same reasons of like the portability and just like chilling in bed for 10 minutes playing Animal Crossing. It's dope. You don't want to like sit on the couch in front of a TV and play Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
not really. Unless you're gonna be playing for a couple hours.
I like the way the NPCs talk. They make that little noise.
Yeah, man, it's the Banjo-Kazooie voices. Same style.
You're right. I knew I recognized it. Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Still, it just seems so perfect, though. It's just adorable. I feel like I have that childlike smile while I'm playing. It's like, oh, you guys.
I had to laugh. My favorite line was when you're flying to another village, and you're like about to land. It goes, "We're gonna be making a water landing. Don't worry, it's okay. We're in a seaplane." That cracked me up. It's like the funniest joke. We're going to be making a water lander, but it's okay because we're in a seaplane.
I've had a couple moments like that, too. It's highly recommend. Now, here's a question for you, though, Trent. If people listening right now go, wow, that sounds really fun, but I don't have a Switch, is it worth buying a Switch?
You'd have to watch some streams for me to tell you that.
Okay.
I would say if you've played it in the past and you like the old Animal Crossing games, 100%. This is just a straight up upgrade in every single way. If you've never played Animal Crossing ever, then if you like Smash Bros, it's probably good. Get a Switch to get Smash Bros and AC, and the console's well worth it.
That is exactly where I was just going to go. There are enough good games on Switch now that I think it's a pretty safe investment, especially since there's the what's it called? The smaller one that doesn't dock.
Oh, the Lite.
The Lite. I think it's even cheaper. And that thing,
yeah, it is.
I would have just bought that instead of the full-on one if it was available. I think I've docked my Switch like actually once.
Yeah, Owen and Cheever both have that one too. They have 4 Switches between them.
Well, last time I hung out with
techie.
Cheever, she had 2 cell phones, so
That's also true. She just pulls out another one. Oh, here, guys, I can get the stream going.
So, okay, glad we got that Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I got to get that out of the way because I've been binging the shit out of Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
it's holy moly, it's like in my system right now.
Yeah, it's been taking over my Twitter feed. It's rivaling coronavirus at a pretty scary rate here.
I mean, what a great game to come out during coronavirus quarantine season, though.
It couldn't have been more perfect. It was the same thing with the Path of Exile League, where the league started basically as the lockdown was just coming into effect in certain places, and it's like this is the perfect game to be stuck at home with.
That's true.
How did some of these things line up? I don't know. I guess we got to count our blessings when we can find them. Of course, today we are going to talk about patch 7.25 and then the subsequent 7.25a. I've gotten a chance to play a bunch of pubs and have some thoughts. Maybe before we dive into that, though, since I imagine that'll be a long conversation, 2 big things we need to talk about. The We Play event that is still going on, and we're really going to break that down in the next podcast once we get a chance to watch all the finals. There's still, 2 days to go? 3 days to go, including today, I guess?
I think it depends on like some of their markers they had. Then they've got some like little tournament going on too with 3v3, so they're kind of wrapping things up. Yeah, it's starting to wind down.
Stretch goals, fond memories around those stretch goals, and the Formula One race that took place. I have no sense of time.
Yes.
Was it yesterday or the day before? Holy shit, that was awesome.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, my Twitter feed started blowing up, and I was just trying to understand, and I was like, oh. That's kind of a crazy thing to do. Officially, F1 sanctioned race, and Red Eye was in it. Sadokist was in it, I believe, too.
Yeah. So
a couple of esports personalities.
For those that missed it, obviously a lot of events are being canceled right now. Formula One is among them. There's a big race coming up. They had to postpone. I guess they had to cancel it, so they decided to use the cutting-edge Formula One racing simulator and just do a digital race. And they had actual professional drivers competing. And as Trent mentioned, Red Eye, Sadakist, and I think there were a few other personalities that were also racing. And it was full on, hundreds of laps. It was like a 2-hour ordeal. They had commentators, and I watched a little bit of it, and it was surprisingly captivating. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that watches Formula One or NASCAR anyway, so I'm not particularly stoked about watching race cars, but the graphics are good enough that it actually looks and kind of sounds close to the real thing. Scarily close.
It's and I think they finished. Paul came 8th, and Sadokis came 12th.
Which is crazy. Like, that's other pro drivers that you're racing against. And I think it's supposed to be very, very accurate in terms of the tracks, the physics, all that kind of stuff. Like, it kind of makes sense, too. When you think about contact sports, there's a lot more variables that get introduced that make it hard to make, like, a one-to-one engine. You think about basketball or hockey and how you can hit people and, like, kind of use your body weight.
And, like, there's also, like, teammates and stuff. It doesn't make any sense when it's, like, a computer, right?
But
it's, like...
racing, it's solo, so that removes all of those contact kind of variables. And driving a car, I think the physics around that are a little more... unilateral? I don't know what the right word is here. Straightforward than trying to emulate like football or some shit.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of just like, accepted science. You kind of know what's going to happen.
But how perfect was this though? It really felt like the perfect game for an esport replica of a real life race that still matters a little bit. It's not just some stupid show match. It's not a bunch of NBA players playing NBA 2K and it's like, it was sort of cool, but this was...
I can remember
this was
I
a
had
simulation.
a NASCAR. Yeah, I remember I had a NASCAR game when I was a little kid. It was like, some game that my parents must have bought because they love NASCAR. And I was racing in it. And I remember, like, from across the house one time, my parents came home and they thought a race was on. And then you look at, like, think about how bad those graphics were. Like, of course, it's across the house on a CRT, so it's understandable why you might think it was a real race. But when you watch this thing, man, it's like, damn, they actually have, like, crazy good graphics these days. That, like, if this was on a big screen and you're on the other side of, like, a bar, you would just think the race was on.
Yeah.
You know?
And the
It's
sounds
really
too.
cool.
The sounds blew me away. Of like, I sort of felt like I was there. Like, that's such a distinctive part of those cars, the way they sound as they rip by and stuff. And I don't know, man. I had a moment of like, what I imagine that like old dad thing of just like, oh, esports is going mainstream. I'm so proud. It felt real.
I just linked it in the chat if you guys want to take a look of the F1 esports website with the VOD. And I'm just like clicking through it right now, and it's just like, damn. Very, very cool. And they're going to be doing more of them, I'm sure, because it was a huge success. It had like 350,000 viewers on stream, and they were airing it on Sky Sports.
Oh, wow.
Because they don't have the race.
I guess
and that was
that's
on
true.
various platforms. That was on like YouTube and Twitches and like all combined 350K.
But
pretty
still,
fucking cool, guys.
That's badass. And
yeah,
the other cool thing that I saw was that, or was it? Oh shit, I might be confusing things now, but I saw Slasher tweet something very wholesome about feedback from non-gamers seeing that of like, wow, this was actually pretty cool. And usually it's the ESPN comments of this.
Oh
is
yeah,
sports.
I saw that.
Get this the fuck out of here. I want real sports. And now it's the opposite of like, this is pretty cool. I got nothing else to do.
Well, now they have no option. That's why it's funny. You know what I mean? It's not like, why would I watch this when I could watch the race? Well, dog, there's no race anymore. So this is the best you're gonna get.
But yeah, shout out to F1. I heard like kind of rumblings a couple years ago that F1 had a very serious interest in esports, and they just couldn't quite get the formula right. They couldn't figure out how to, was it starting tournaments? Is it hosting virtual races? Like, what's the right crossover? And it's sort of interesting that some patience has paid off.
Gateway. Yeah.
And of course there's big money in Formula One. I mean, serious sponsorships, serious dollars. That it's
big viewership, man. It's not huge in North America, but in the rest of the world, it's a giant sport.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I always hear people talk about when we travel to places that have F1 like tracks. Like when we were in Singapore, we were really close to the F1 racetrack that's there whenever they host, and like I saw people going down and talking about it while we were just nearby. Was just like people are just so excited about F1 in other parts of the world. And I saw I Am the Duelist was also mentioning that like the racers test virtually because a lot of the times it can be hard to get on the track, right? When you're like learning about the corners and stuff. So virtual is like the next best thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've seen those simulators. Like I remember there was some like ice fishing dude or something. Like this was like 10 years ago or something, or maybe less. But I remember reading the article about some guy in Iceland who was a fisherman. Or maybe it was Alaska. I don't remember. It was someplace way out in the boonies. And he was obsessed with F1. And he spent like he had no wife or family, and his main hobby outside of fishing was F1 virtual racing. And so he had like the full setup at home, right?
Yeah.
And he raced, and he just crushed the times. And when they brought him in, they let him race on a real car. And after a couple of laps, he started to get the hang for it, and he was putting up like competitive timing. Pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
I know that McLaren did something like that. I'm going to try to pull up the article now, but they did that esports series thing, and maybe it was through F1, but the first place prize, that guy now works at McLaren as like a test track driver because it's exactly what you just described. If you're 10 out of 10 in the virtual sim, it translates to real life. So they have this dude like test stuff. He's in like the QA department.
Living the dream.
Was it in
But anyway,
2019?
thank you for coming into esports F1. Let's keep it up. I'm down. Now let's just get NASCAR, a real American sport. I want to see some wrecks. Can you imagine the chaos of NASCAR?
Fucking NASCAR, dude. I actually don't get NASCAR because like F1 is very technical. There's a lot of tight turns. It's a whole thing. NASCAR, a lot of like the Daytona 500 is just a donut, dude. They just drive in a circle for 200 laps or whatever it is. 500 miles. That's the Daytona 500. You're just round and around.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's intricacies, and I know like you're drafting and tire management and fuel strategy and yada yada yada. But holy moly!
Well, it's intense as fuck for the drivers. I'm not trying to belittle that part.
But as a viewer,
yes, it's a serious endurance challenge. It's insanely hard. It's badass that the drivers are able to do. Like you don't get an appreciation for the fact that they're going 170 miles an hour on that track. When you're just watching.
Can I run another one by you?
Yes.
Here's something I never got. Going to a racetrack.
Yeah.
Like if you go to an F1 race to sit and watch, like NASCAR I get because you can see the whole track. But if you go to an F1 race, you can see like one corner.
Yeah.
Like watching it on TV is so superior.
I remember my physics teacher when I was a senior in high school said this. He said, I'm open-minded and I try not to be negative about things. So I went to a NASCAR race and he said, I truly just don't get it. You sit there and you don't see anything for 2 minutes and then all the cars whiz by. It's so loud, you don't know what's going on. You can't process what's happening or see who's in what position. The entire stadium shakes. Everyone goes apeshit for 10 seconds, and then the cars are gone, and you sit there in silence for another 2 minutes.
Crowd's fun. It is like a big party. That's true.
It is, but that's I still. Why not? You could just have a party. I don't like what. It's so much better to watch on TV. It's like night and day, and I just don't really. I've also never been to one, so maybe there's a culture there that we're missing, man. Maybe it's
Careful,
badass
my mom's
to go
watching. She's a huge NASCAR fan.
Okay, maybe we just got to go get sloshed on get a 30 of Coors Light and go to the Daytona 500.
I think that's what they do.
Yeah,
I think that's where the fun comes in.
I don't know. It's an interesting kind of subculture. NASCAR is stupidly popular though. It's like the second or third most popular sport in America. It's bananas.
They make a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. A lot of sponsors.
Yeah, more. Just keep coming to esports, baby. That's what we want. Bring the cash money. But all right, let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready to patch talk because frankly, I haven't even gotten to really talk much about these or feel out these changes.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but the quarantine has not resulted in more Dota time for me. It has destroyed my Dota time. For I have 2 children.
No, I've been kind of opposite because a lot of this is basically my main job right now. A lot of people are trying to get like Dota events together, but it's all in the planning phase. So I've been gaming pretty hard. I've been playing a lot of Dota with Carlo because he's also in quarantine here. So we're basically just LAN partying. We set up a second TV in the living room, and it is full on. We got the Nintendo 64 set up, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360. We can watch Netflix or Hulu and play consoles at the same time. It's pretty fantastic. We set up the garage to have a gym, and you got a barbell and a medicine ball and some stuff.
And I'm sure you've been cranking that out alongside Carlo.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So we've been hanging in there, but I've been gaming a lot. I have been playing a lot of Path of Exile, but also a lot of Dota pubs. I gotta say, bud, before we dive in, this is a rough time for solo queue. Dare I say, this might be
click the Zyori Dota button.
one of the worst times to be playing solo queue or duo queue. I think this is probably an incredible time to be 5 stacking in the Archons.
Don't worry, I'll link it for you guys.
The Legends, the Ancients, but yeah, the last couple days have been rough, and not even just losing games. The caliber of teammates that are just like they just.
I mean,
don't
there's probably
care.
people coming back to Dota who've
They
never
are.
played.
They are,
Yeah.
but it's weird how you can really taste the difference in the culture. It's not that they're noticeably worse, but they just don't try as hard. They're just like, it's clear that they're like, I'm at home, I'm bored. Oh yeah, Dota was fun. I'm gonna play a couple games. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. Then they just shut it off. Compared to before the lockdown, like most of my games, at least half my team would respond on voice.
Okay, daytime gaming of Dota is the most tryhard people.
Dude,
Like that's when it was really good. You would get really good teammates usually during daytime. But yeah, now it's like probably the worst teammates.
dude, it really is. And it's just, they straight up don't care. The kind of stuff where like, we're against Monkey King, all this shit. My Drow Ranger's got a Yasha queued up. I'm like, dude, get the 4 staff first. Trust me, you need the mobility tool. The Yasha's not going to do anything. He goes, I can't farm anywhere. I can't afford either item. I'm like, okay, well, when you can, please buy the 4 staff. Of course, he buys the Yasha. And I'm just like, dude, just help me help you, man. Please, please. I tried to play Wisp a little bit. Jesus Christ, dude. I think Wisp is actually really strong right now.
Yeah, you played like 6 games.
Coordinating with your R-word position 1s in the 3K bracket. Oh my God, I'd rather do something painful. Like, it's demoralizing. Watching them run in, the amount of save your buddy syndrome that is rampant right now, the amount of games thrown of just like, dude, why'd you go in? Well, I was trying to save Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's an idiot. Let him die. Who gives a shit? Like, it's the skilled players but don't really care about winning. They just want to slaughter. The amount of 5v5 mids I've had at 10 minutes. Very, very staggering right now, dude. People are just deathball, and they don't give a fuck. It's I don't give a fuck Dota. This is the Slacks era right now. We're living it, and it sucks.
You got to get the take control of the game heroes picked here. I don't see any game winner heroes being picked here, Zyori.
Yeah.
I
was slaying it with Witch
builds.
Doctor. I finally ended my 9-game win streak on Witch Doctor, which I was pretty proud of.
Look at you.
I think he is one of the best 4s right now for like solo queue pub play. I think Lich, Witch Doctor on the 4, you can fuck up some position 1s, man. I think
if you ruin their lane and like demotivate them, it can be worth it.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure. Because like, sure, maybe you're not gonna have like the best scaling with items. Of course, it's still okay, but you don't have that big like blink kind of hero. But sometimes just ruining their carry and making them super salty is enough to win a pub. 100%.
Yep. And I don't know. It's interesting seeing the
you tried Sven. What is this morbid mask into aghs build? Sorry.
Oh, that game was brutal. I remember that game.
Yeah, you're 0-7-1.
No, dude, you should.
Lane
No,
Sven.
dude, you should watch the replay of that game. They left that game. I was actually telling them to leave me alone. I said, guys, please go support Luna. You're leaving Luna solo. She's feeding bottom. I don't matter. Save Luna. And they kept coming to my lane, and we kept losing fights. I was like, guys, please. So then I just tried to farm and recover, and it was just, and then they yelled at me like, all you do is farm. I'm like, guys, someone has to farm. We can't. Oh, please, guys. Someone hit creeps somewhere on the map. We can't win by just running around trying to kill them.
Can I just say that I love living vicariously through your
Oh,
pubs.
It's so
back
weird
so
because
many memories when I used to grind like that.
dude, the last 2 nights I have been so fucking tilted before. Last night I played 3 games, got so mad. I was like, fuck this. I'm playing Path of Exile. I was 1 bar from level 90 and then died twice and got so mad that I actually had to stand up and walk outside. I was fuming, and I was like in that feedback loop of mad at myself for getting so triggered about just bad teammates in Dota at 11 p.m. on a fucking Monday night. But
okay, that's the worst feeling in Dota, when you realize how mad you are and you're just like, I shouldn't be this mad about this, but I am this mad about this, and I'm an idiot for being this mad about this, but fuck 'em.
when you feel the tilt transfer to another game where I'm like, I'm just feeding to robots in PoE right now because I'm so angry, that's like a self-flag moment of, all right, I'm gonna go play some Animal Crossing. So, but
I hope it'll save you.
All that said, I'm looking forward to playing pubs after this podcast today. So Dota is the addictive, fucked up beast that we know. it's such a nasty cycle. But okay. Anyway, let's dive into this patch 7.25. Overall thoughts when you saw some of these changes. What jumped out at you the most? Because there were a couple big macro changes here.
Yeah, I wanted to start by like just thinking about the road that we've been on here, because things we've had some pretty big changes recently in Dota, right? Namely, neutral items. I think was the last one that really like busted our brains.
Yeah.
So the last when was 7.24? So that was back in January 26th. Wow, it's been 2 months then since we had 7.24. So that was when we got the dedicated neutral item slot. It was that long ago.
Wow.
Time's flying in quarantine land.
Yeah.
And then what else did we lose? We got the neutral item stash in that patch. We lost our backpack slots. Okay, and then we lost shrines. Okay, so since then, the life of Dota, Ice Frog determined that we now had to change. I remember the very first thing in the patch is the all pick thing, right?
Yeah.
So we have our all pick and our captain's mode. Were the two changes. We've changed how we get to pick heroes, guys. How have you found the all pick? I haven't actually experienced an all pick game since the patch.
So
Daddy daycare.
Despite being top of the patch notes, this was the one that I think will impact the most players. We talk a lot about the pro scene and the implications of captain's mode, but most Dota games that are played are all pick. And I think 10th pick in all pick before this change was stupid, broken, and ruined a disproportionate amount of pubs because there's no drafter.
The meeple players are crying right now.
Yes, there is no drafter. People are just picking back and forth and having that coup de grace. I'm going to take OD, there's no counter. I'm going to take Brood, there's no counter. Arc Warden, Meepo, Invoker, all these other cheese dick heroes that ruin your games. This makes it a lot harder to do that, or at least gives the other team a chance to sort of react, or it's at least a blind coin flip of I'm going to pick this hero because I like it. I'm going to pick this hero because I like it.
Here's a question though, in your experience, because I wondered, is it actually better for the Meepo spammers now because like now it's both shown at the same time, right?
Yeah, I guess you could.
10.
Yes.
So now basically you don't always have to be last pick anymore as a Meepo spammer. Now every game you get to save the last pick, and what are the odds they're gonna like force counter pick a Meepo? At the same time as you. Pretty low, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It just feels
a
little bit.
If you'd experienced it, yeah.
Or maybe I should say it the other way. Having first pick and all pick before felt terrible. I'm the position 5.
That's true.
I'm the first pick. I want to play Dazzle because it's one of my best heroes, and the team's like, "You're position 5. You always pick first." And immediately axe and immediately silencer. And you're just kind of like,
you pretty much had to play Snapfire or Lich every game.
Yeah. So I think that dynamic really sucked, and there was some of that for the 10th pick the other way. I don't know that there's a perfect solution to stop like Meepo spammers or Brood spammers from ruining games. I just think this is a step down the right direction, and I like that you can pick without fear of being counter-picked, just like immediately snap. It makes that a little bit more difficult. You have to work in positions and stuff. So I love this change. This, I think, is a great quality of life change, and so far... It's hard to meter, right? Because the pubs are so different now, thanks to the quarantine, as we just talked about. So,
yeah,
there's a lot of variables at play, but I think this is going to have a generally net positive on the quality of pubs. Maybe only 5 or 10%.
100% it'll be better.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
So,
I can't see how this makes it worse in any sense.
For sure. And similarly, the second note: power runes now spawn at 4 minutes.
I'm a big fan of that. As someone who I've been trying to make a real effort to learn more mid matchups and to try and examine the mid lane a lot more, because that's definitely the place. It's the place I know the least in Dota by far. I don't play mid. I don't really enjoy watching mid that much, but it's something where I should improve my knowledge some. So started watching a lot more, and my God, those 2-minute runes are like, I can't believe mid players don't whine more. I guess they just don't whine because they've been there for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But every game I'm watching and someone gets a 2-minute rune and I'm like, well, this lane's just over. Like, you have to have such a massive brain play to beat some guy that gets a DD at 2 minutes because neither support rotated for you.
Yeah.
It's stupid. At least 4 minutes, the lane's a little further along and you can have a better chance of being able to jungle at that point. And sure, you're going to miss out on something in the lane because that guy's now going to DD or he got a regen or something, but 2 minutes when your hero can't even hit neutrals is like there was no option for a lot of mid heroes.
I totally agree. The old S4 haste rune, just I like why I get why power runes are in the game. It's to encourage more aggressive play. You want to see ganks. You don't want everybody just to be farming. I think they were a really big key aspect of Dota longer ago, and now there's so many more mechanics to play around. Power runes aren't that, there's other reasons to fight than just power runes. I don't want to see them removed necessarily, but I still fucking hate the double damage outside of Roche bullshit. I hate the double damage. Even at 4 minutes, a double damage rune is pretty stupid.
I mean, remember 0 minute?
Yeah.
0 minute Pudge haste runes? That was the worst shit.
Talk about stupid.
That was...
And I also liked the subsequent change here. Power runes no longer spawn at both sides at 40 minutes. So now it's always just single power rune. And again, I like this because 2 runes, that just increased the chances of getting a double damage near Roche at a key moment.
We talked about that a little bit, Lacoste and I, because I was casting with him for that We Play thing for one series. And I don't know, like, it was one of those things where the bottle was actually becoming sort of a cool function. Like, we're seeing a lot of people pick up late game bottles for exactly that reason. Because you can guarantee you're either going to get like a DD or a haste or an arcane, pretty much, right? Between what are the odds it's going to be regen and illusion, that spawn after 40 minutes? And all 3 of those runes can just win a team fight for a lot of heroes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that got removed.
Yeah.
Especially because games are going to start trailing a little bit later, I think.
I mean, I think we've all had that feeling of like, what happened in that team fight? And then you see it and go, oh, Luna had a double damage and there was so much shit going on I didn't even notice. Cool fight.
Yeah.
Cool fight.
Especially now that we don't make dispels.
Yeah, right.
All gone.
So moving down the list here, the other big one, remove team-based rubber band mechanic for hero kills. This one took me a hot minute to digest because they show you the old formula. Oh no, that's AoE gold. So like, what does that mean exactly?
No, you're right. You're looking at the right thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna link the page in case anyone is following along and wants to look at it. So
it's a lot to digest.
It is a lot to digest. The big change is that the comeback factor was a part of the formula, and there was also a net worth ranking and net worth poor factor. So net worth poor factor was based on the victim's net worth rank within their team. And now we have the new one. There's no longer a ranking factor. It's just purely the victim net worth times 0.03, and they've removed the comeback factor as well. So by doing that, they just made it so that you wouldn't have those giant bounties based off of just purely where you were in the gold rankings. However, when they did that, they also way buffed up streaks. So now streaks are like super important. And I know OG were someone who they purposely followed streaks during at least during their first TI run. I remember them talking about that. Was that it was something that a lot of teams didn't abuse, and they felt like it was really easy to abuse. Was like making sure you got a streak kill on the right hero because it was a stupid amount of gold. And now it's even more important to make sure that you get these big sprees onto the correct person. Like, if you're position 5, man, sure, maybe if you really need a Blink Dagger, it might be good if you get it. But if you could just give that spree over to your position 1 or your position 2, you can, like, win the whole mid game for your team.
Right.
Because they're worth a lot more now, as you can see in those new formulas.
So does this help quell that you're smashing the early game and then you lose a mid-game fight and it feels like the whole first 20 minutes doesn't really matter? Does this make that...
It means that if you're the position 5, it's good for position 5 players because now you just dying isn't worth as much because the ranking factors and all that stuff.
Okay, I see. So
because I think the number was higher, right?
So now it's just based on the victim's net worth. So if you're the position 5 with 800 net worth and you die, they get very little. Relative
it doesn't
to killing...
matter if you're like a position 5. I guess it's bad if you were a position 5 player getting the streak because you used to get a stupid amount of gold.
Yeah,
because it was like based on the killer's net worth, right? So
okay, but it makes those, if you're a position 5 and you trade your life for a kill on a core, it makes those trades much better for the side losing the support.
Assuming, yes. Yeah, basically, because it's all about your gold. So assuming you have a low gold value, then yeah, it's going to be good.
And assuming the enemy carry has a high gold value. Yeah, all things equal, generally those trades are going to be better. So if you're a core, don't trade your life for a fucking support. And if you're a support, do whatever you can to throw it away to get that kill on the carry.
The thing that's just crazy is how much they've simplified it. Because the old factor, or the old formula was stupidly complicated, right?
Yeah, it was net worth poor factor times net worth ranking factor times some numbers times victim level plus comeback factor times victim's net worth times some more numbers divided by 4.
And then there were 5 of them based on your ranking, right?
Yes.
From 1.6 to 0.4, depending on where you were on the team. Now it's just victim net worth times 0.03 plus 50 gold. Divided by number of heroes.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Sometimes I think there's beauty in simplicity, and it's nice to be able to digest exactly what that formula means instead of having to go, okay, net worth poor factor. Not sure what that means.
It's so hard to judge what change that's going to be, and we're going to need like a lot of data and like a long time to see, what kind of a difference it made. And I know some people in chat are saying like the high net worth, like let's say you were like a Naga or someone with like 30 or 40K. This is a lot worse for you because before it was just your ranking. You were either first or you were last, right? Well, that was the big thing. And there was still a net worth, but it wasn't worth as much, I think, right? Because it was 0.026, whereas now it's 0.03. So it went up by 0.004. But the ranking factor thing just means that like your pure net worth now has more of an impact on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. That's all my assumptions and everything. It's still very confusing, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's good. What did Synderen say? Someone said, should the XP award be based on time, though? That much XP in the early minutes is insane. Stolen from Synderen. Oh, I haven't looked at the XP one? Is there an XP one? Or do you just mean, like, oh, you're talking about the streaks, I think, right?
That much XP in the early minutes is insane.
Yeah. Streaks were already broken. That's what OG abused, is the early XP from streaks. Because I remember when that got added to the patch of just being like, this is way too high. Because people were just gaining a stupid amount of XP, and you're not wrong. It is probably too broken. Because I think you guys probably saw that clip on Reddit where the Phoenix went up 4 levels because he cleaned up a kill. He went from like level 2 to level 7 or something, or level 3 to level 7 by killing one guy.
Something like that happened to me yesterday, actually. I don't remember what hero I was playing, but it was a team fight like that where everyone died, and then I cleaned it up and got 2 kills, and one of them was the carry on a streak. And I was pretty far behind, and I think I got 3 levels out of the team fight. And kind of I went like, whoa, all right, we're right back in it. It was one of those, like, they had an enemy carry that was 9-0 or some shit, and then you kill him, and it's insane in the mid game.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was casting those games for WePlay, I was just like counting streaks. I was just watching it, dude. I'm like, depending on where this guy dies, it's gonna be worth so much. But
that's funny because that's a mechanic that I never really thought that hard about. Like you kind of go like, oh wow, he's 8-0. It's really impressive, but I don't really give a shit. I don't think about it in the context of how much you're actually giving away with that.
Well, a lot of teams didn't really think about that much either. It didn't prioritize, at least not that I heard of. It wasn't something in that, but that was a big difference with OG, is that they really understood that. Just like buyback, they're always looking for that little thing to abuse.
So it's rewarding now more of that perfect play. If you're the carry and you're doing really well, don't go balls to the wall, dude. They're rewarding that patient siege. Don't throw it away. Maintain your streak. Don't act like a god because you're winning early.
Yeah.
So I guess this sort of makes up for that change in the rubber band mechanic, though, right? Maybe that's why this is broken.
Yes, that's another reason why. 100%.
Yeah.
It's because of that comeback thing. Since theories that pros will suicide to towers to avoid giving up streaks, I don't think that works, does it?
Good question. I don't know. That's such an odd mechanic, those tower kills.
Oh no, it does. No, you're right. It does end the streak because as long as you split it, so as long as you took damage from 2 people and suicide to a tower, I think that works.
Or only take damage from the tower. Yeah.
I can remember people talking about suiciding to towers the last time the streaks were buffed, and it never happened though. So we'll see. I would guess that it gets tuned down before then, if I had to.
Yeah, I'm glad we're no longer in the suicide meta.
The tower suicide phase. Yeah,
that shit was just.
This change, I thought was really interesting and confusing. But Captain's Mode now has ban counts per phase changed from 3, 2, 1 to 4, 1, and 1. So that means instead of doing the 3 bans, pick some heroes, 2 bans, pick some heroes, last ban, pick your last heroes. We've just gone 4 flat out, 1, 1, 1.
So 8 heroes are gone before the draft even before picking begins, compared to 6 before when it was 3 each.
Yeah, so starting with that, then that immediately to me says there's concern over the toppest tier of heroes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that eventually that is one of the drawbacks of this ice frog patching style that we all generally like, right? You have something that's broken, and then you just have a counter that's equally broken. They're both best in class in their extremes, and that creates really fun gameplay as compared to watering everything down, beating everything with the Nerf bat. But there are right now some heroes that are pretty fucking busted, and it does feel like sometimes if there's a pool of 10 heroes or 8 heroes that are busted, removing 6 of them isn't quite sufficient. I don't know.
My initial reaction is that number one, it's going to be initially difficult because it's very different for captains now.
Yeah.
They need to like basically. I think it rewards people that have planned out their draft early. Like I think they want to have a full idea of where they're trying to go before they even pick that first hero because you're only going to have 2 bans. So you need to know like, okay, are we possibly angling towards Broodmother? You need that like way earlier because you only have 2 options to get rid of that like Kunkka or that Tide Hunter or whatever it is. Or like the Meepo teams got buffed. Like, you pretty much have to ban Meepo in the first phase because you definitely don't want to have to ban Meepo after seeing 2 of their heroes. Right?
Yeah. You're right. I think this adds to the mind game, sort of the same vein of what you're saying. I think you need to be prepared for a bait and switch where it looks like they're banning around one specific strategy and then they switch it up knowing that you can't counter 4 heroes with only 2 bans. I feel like we're going to see more of these drafts where you kind of see the landslide coming. You know, you see 3 heroes picked and you're like, oh yeah, we know where they're going. They thought they were going to farm and this is a push strat. Oh yeah.
It encourages counter picking more, right? Instead of banning. Like you have to find that option.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm not worried about, your guys' versus us. I don't want you to have this really good synergy. Like no. You need to like be completely ready to react to their heroes, and you can't rely as much on just building the lineup that you came into it with. So overall I think it just means like good captains need to be even better. And bad captains are going to be, like, screwed now. I think if you were someone that was, like, struggling in the current drafting stage, it just got way harder.
Yeah.
I would say. You need way more foresight. You need so much more experience of, like, okay, when I see Ember, what are the heroes that traditionally have been very good versus this hero? And how can I fit into my draft? And where does it fit into their draft? And, what hero do I need to ban for this one hero right now? Because I only have 2 more bans. Like, you basically only have 2 bans now. That's how I look at it. Because the initial bans are just like, okay, they play Brood, let's ban that, and let's ban 6 of the best heroes.
Right. What's the latest on coaches? Coaches are allowed to be like in the booth during drafting.
Yes,
right?
my friend.
So,
I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah, I think this adds. In some ways, I feel like this could make the rich richer in terms of if you're a tier 1 team with a true tier 1 coach, you have an extra value added from the difference in your coach over a tier 2 coach or someone who doesn't have that kind of experience. I wonder if this will open up more opportunities for those drafting minds to really excel in that coaching role.
Yeah, I think 1,000%. I think number one, because the whole drafting scene just changed. So while everyone else is just trying to learn the patch, you have a dedicated guy who's just learning drafting and just wants to think about all the new meta and like what you can do. So like, what happens if I just like, what can I do if I pick this hero second phase now and they only have 2 bans as opposed to having 3 bans?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think there's a lot going into it.
Pretty interesting.
It's gonna be good. There were so many bans that just like telegraphed something before, and now I don't think they telegraph the same things.
Yeah,
hard to describe. It's just like the way I think about drafting and everything. And I guess I should have thought about this before the podcast so I could really explain it better. But like in the past, there were heroes that when that got banned, you knew 100% that this hero was coming out, and like the pro teams all knew it, but like maybe it wasn't like as common knowledge in terms of like the public when you're watching it. But those heroes now just like they won't get to exist anymore because there's not enough room for them in the second phase of drafting.
Yeah. I think to summarize it, Vimreem, it's as Trent said, now you have less bans later. So if you need to react to the opponent's picks, it's more in the realm of counter picks than it is just saying, oh, we can just ban those 2 heroes that, will counter us or whatever it is. So it
also
definitely
means you need
adds,
bigger
another
hero
layer.
pools, right? Because as you're saying, if you're counter picking, that means you got to be able to play the heroes, and you got to be able to play them well.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point. This will probably help teams that have deeper hero pools.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier to ban heroes than it is to play heroes you're not comfortable on. So,
Good stuff. And other than that, the other changes were pretty meh. They nerfed the neutralites armor. It still looked busted. But you saw like every pro team just spamming the shit out of it.
yeah.
With Helm or with any other person who could take over creeps.
Yeah.
Illusion Room getting the dispel was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Illusion Rune now similar mechanics to Manta. It makes Illusion feel a little... It definitely felt like the weakest of the runes. Yeah, you can stack with it. Yeah, they're kind of scouting tools. It's not without utility, but I think of all the runes, I'm generally least stoked to get the Illusion.
Yeah, it's something now. Maybe you have it in your bottle and you get silenced by Skywrath and you pop that shit and turn on them. That'd be pretty cool.
This is the change I see that's pretty hyped for pro games. Now you can have that like Manta dodge hype at 4 minutes when they grab an Illusion Rune. You know, that could be a turner. It's pretty subtle, but pretty cool. A lot of tweaks to neutral items. Nothing too game-changing, just a lot of number and a coefficient buffs. The one
they nerfed the top tiers and they buffed the ones people thought were bad.
Yeah, our Iron Talon now works on Ancients. I'm going to be real with you, bud. I did not realize Iron Talon didn't work on Ancients. So...
That just means you're a wholesome soul that didn't do a lot of jungling. That's what I'll assume.
Yeah, I feel like I just don't even see Iron Talon that often. It's weird. Maybe it's confirmation bias. I feel like I see Faded Brooch every other fucking game, and I see Iron Talon almost never. It's weird. Same with Nether Shock. See that every other fucking game. Spider Legs. Where the hell are they? I want some Spider Legs.
Yeah, I was surprised they got buffed. I thought everyone really liked Spider Legs.
Yeah. Dude, Carlo got Spider Legs for the first time yesterday. You should have seen the look on his face, dude. He was like, Spider Legs are fucking awesome, dude. I'm walking uphill. There's trees here, and I'm just walking. I'm like, yeah, Spider Legs are cool, dude.
I mean, passive movement speed to 28% is kind of nuts.
You feel the turn rate, too. It just feels good.
Guys, you Han players would love it.
Yeah, there you go. So let's talk about TPs for a minute, though. Town Portal Scroll and Boots of Travel. I saw that graph that Wikram tweeted. That was a 10 out of 10 content piece. The graph of how the cost of Town Portal Scroll has changed over all of the Dota patches. Way back in the day, it was hundreds of gold, and then it was so broken that they removed it for a while, and then they brought it back in, and it was slowly getting cheaper, and now the price has gone back up. That's
pretty funny.
The tale of the Town Portal Scroll has come full circle, my friend. Where will it end? What is the appropriate price for the TP? Simultaneously, the most broken and underutilized item in Dota 2.
I started playing when it was 135. I remember that. That was my cost of TP when I first played Dota 2.
That's
how times have changed.
Yeah.
Thank God they. All I care about is that they changed boots. I was so tired of this Boots of Travel and Town Portal Scroll. I was so broken for carry players.
Yeah.
It gave them it let core players have way more of an impact on late game than supports, which is fine. But it was a stupid way to have an impact, in my opinion, to force back a TP of someone when you're pushing. At least now you have to go all in. It drove me nuts when they didn't share cooldown.
I think I've fought BOTs in 1 or 2 games since this change, and I totally agree with you. It felt stupid before, and now this feels like holding true to what Boots of Travel are supposed to be like. And little quality of life change, it just upgrades your TP scroll. So instead of having a separate hotkey for your boots, I just use the same hotkey I already know for my TP scroll, and my TP is just unlimited and shorter cooldown. It's kind of weird getting used to that. Casting TP does not consume a Town Portal Scroll.
Yeah.
It feels funny, but it's still pretty cool. And the movement speed slightly buffed.
And I think in terms of items, that was kind of it. I heard people complaining that Orb of Venom was busted, and indeed it got nerfed a lot. They upped the slow a little bit, but it was a lot better before. And it's pretty shit now.
I wanted to ask you about the headdress change, because this, to me, was busted starting item. Those Wisp games, right-click that headdress right away. There was no better option. Now, It's kind of a weird. It's a nerf, but they took out the Iron Branch, so it is cheaper. You lose the +3 stats, which were super value, but you get an extra 0.5 HP regen up from 2 to 2.5. So more regen, no stats, but it's cheaper.
It's pretty bad.
You think it's ass now?
It's like good for dual laning, but
Yeah.
it was a lot better before.
Well, sure. But
Yeah.
it's
well,
still.
I mean, it was a good change. It was too busted. You're 100% right.
What I'm getting at is I don't think it was over nerfed. It was changed. It's weaker now, but it still feels like it has a place. And I like that it, you save a little bit of money so you get to pick up that stat somewhere else. Fuck Ring of
And then they did the
Basilius.
sum thing to Bassi, right? Yeah.
Fuck
It
Bassi.
got hit too.
Yeah, that thing's busted as shit. I thought there were some other item changes, but you're right. Most of them are just, number tweaks here or there.
Yeah, it was basically just all the top tier stuff from the previous patch. Nullifier got a full rework, right? No longer mutes, now
that was it.
continuously dispels. So it's basically Shadow Demon ult for 5 seconds, and it's an 80% slow for 0.5 seconds. Cooldown reduced from 13 to 11. Cast range increased, armor increased, and damage increased. So
Trent,
no muting. Is that what can mute now? There's no item that can mute now, right? Because it was only Nullifier that let you do that. So that's pretty crazy.
yeah.
It's a big deal.
I mean, like Disruptor aghs, sort of, but yeah, not in that same vein. This is now a really cool item. I have a little anecdote. I got fucked on yesterday by a Wraith King that went first item Nullifier against my position 3 Spirit Breaker. You know what Nullifier removes? Your goddamn Bulldozer. You know how terrible it is to play Spirit Breaker without a Bulldozer? You don't do anything. It felt like one of the hardest counters. It's basically Shadow Demon ult, right? Is that what we
Yes.
got here?
Yeah.
You can buy Shadow Demon ult. There
Yeah.
are certain situations where this shit is so good, and I felt like I couldn't do anything against it. I didn't know what to do. I charged in, I got nullified, and I died. They sent me to the meat packing plant, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying because that's a straight up nerf to heroes like Necrophos. Like basically anyone who Shadow Demon used to counter really hard, like Oracle, has been popping up a lot lately in pro games. Nullifier is really good versus Oracle now because you can just keep dispelling all the heals during the ulti. There's a lot of good uses.
Yeah, so don't sleep on Nullifier. It still has a really rough build-up, of course. I thought he was just going for Radiance. I was kind of stunned when he bought Nullifier. My first thought was, oh, this guy's an idiot. He bought first item Nullifier, and then he killed me 4 times, and I said, oh, turns out Nullifier is really fucking good. I should have reread the patch notes. Oh. Classic 3K pub life.
It is nice to have a dispel again, though. That's because once Diffusal Blade got changed, as I see people in chat talking about, like we had to rely on just heroes for dispels. That was like the only way to do it, and of course, a lot of those have been getting taken away too. So yeah, I would agree, Severo, that it seems situationally insanely strong.
Yes,
it seems like it's gonna like directly impact certain heroes' win rates. Because it's just available every game.
Yeah. So 2 other tweaks that when I first read them didn't quite understand the gravity, but I've come to appreciate it. Necronomicon, nice little buff. The bounties for killing those were reduced.
Dude. Have you been watching the pro games? All the position 1s are buying it.
Yep. Necronomicon,
it's
dude.
Kind of cool.
It's the item. And for heroes that already liked Necrobook, Lycan's pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I heard from my boy Braxton Paulson. I got a little tip in the PoE chat. Hey guys, I've been cheating on PoE with Dota. You should play some Lycan. Pop-Tart played Lycan and won like 4 games in a row and ranked up, dude. Brax saving NA Dota. I think the exact quote was, "This shit's going to be nerfed immediately."
Yeah, he's actually one of my highest win rate heroes. When I wanted to climb MMR a long time ago, when I cared about that, I played Tiny and I played Lycan, and I have like 70+% win rate or something on those heroes. I don't even know. Lycan, I have I have 66.67 on both of them, but they're just like they're heroes that you could just like run the game with, and it felt really good because Lycan you could just like straight up control everything. And Tiny, when I was playing, it was back in the core days where you just picked the nerd on the enemy team who you tilted and just killed them over and over with Shadow Blade and Blink.
I mean, that's a great pub strat, dude.
Yeah,
that's a pub winner right there. Turn it into a 4v5.
Yeah, but Lycan is He's definitely bad if you're bad. Like you need a certain skill level with Lycan to make Lycan good because he's got an ulti that if you're not utilizing your ulti to its full extent during team fights, even more so than other heroes, you're gonna have a bad time.
No, I would
you got to
agree.
micro a little bit, but
Lycan is not for the faint-hearted. And the other item that I noticed, Silver Edge. It has been steadily getting these little buffs, and these little buffs, they're like, okay, well, let's give it a break. Okay, well, let's make it reduce the amount of damage they do. Okay, what if we just make it reduce healing done to the target also? Like, I feel like Silver Edge is this item that they keep going, you guys should really buy this more. This item's really good. Please, we're giving you more reasons to buy it.
I keep seeing pros queue it up, and then they never buy it. They're like, it's like this mid-game item that I think a lot of them they want to snowball with, and then they just like chicken out and they switch to something else.
Yeah. So what is the current tally? Extra damage, disable passives, reduce all healing and regen on them by 50%. It no longer reduces damage done to them, correct? That was an old version of Silver Edge.
Oh, geez. What did that even do?
Done by them, rather, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, it like reduced their damage output. Yeah, that's long gone.
It used to reduce their damage output by like 50%. Yeah, that
40,
was removed
in
7.07. Jesus Christ.
That was the OG Silver Edge, yeah.
That was the OG one. So it's always had break. That's always been its real hallmark feature. But 50% healing and health regen reduction, that's pretty big. Obviously huge against like a Necro or a Dazzle or somebody that's putting out a lot of healing.
I think what it's that was my initial thought too, but I think what it's really about is about saving supports and against Chen. It's actually a direct Chen counter, I think. It's all about it's all about stopping the heal from the allies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's all about like, hey, we're going on this Spectre right now, but she's about to get hand of godded and mech'd from the side. Yeah. And she's gonna regain like 700 and or 900 HP.
Huskar counter. I think that's a good call, Vimreen.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
That's sorry, Huskar.
Is it dispellable yet, or it's still not dispellable, right?
Good question. I have it open here. Let me look. I know if someone is BKB'd and you hit them with it, they're immune to it. I can tell you that for sure because I did it yesterday.
Oh, it is. No, wait. It's not dispellable, right? Undispellable. Yeah. Okay. Good. That would be really shitty if it was dispellable.
Yeah. So
eventually it's covered.
You can be immune to it, but once it's on you, it's on you. I actually won a game as Dragonite yesterday against a Spectre because I bought Silver Edge and broke that shit. We couldn't kill him until I broke him, baby.
Yeah. I have another shout out. If you guys are looking for ways to win Dota, I'm pretty sure you just pick Skywrath or any hero that lanes like Skywrath right now because clarities are stupid.
Yes. Skywrath feels so good.
This buff's insane, dude. Clarities now take 30 seconds for max regen. 20 seconds less in lane is a crazy amount of time. That's a creep wave. A creep wave's 30 seconds, right? So now, instead of your clarity being like taking basically 2 creep waves to be useful, you can now use a clarity every single creep wave.
Yeah.
Clarities were overall nerfed. Oh, they were overall buffed because the regen went from 4.5 to 6, and the duration was reduced from 50 to 30. So now you just get the mana faster, which means you can spam more, and they cost the same. So if you're playing Skywrath Mage, you would just keep chucking through those clarities. And if they cancel your clarity, it's not as bad as it was before.
Yeah. And
less mana overall, but it's not by much, is it?
And it's well, I think the shorter duration is a huge buff because it's less time you need to stay away and play cautious to get
they
the
always
effect
get canceled
of clarity.
anyway, right? That's the whole reason why it's still so good. So it was 225 before, and now it's 180. Yeah, I think it's still a buff.
I would call it a buff as well. It's not a huge buff. I think they tried to counteract it, so it's just a change that makes them a little more efficient to use. But I would prefer the current iteration than the old one, if I had to pick.
I think you just pick like any hero that's spamming, just get nice buffs.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Oh, I didn't even know raindrops went 0.75 to 0.9. Hype.
That is hype. You know what a really annoying mechanic... I've been watching Carlo do this. It's just a side thought. Lion Mana Drain at level 1. That shit is so stupidly annoying. We won a lane last night because they couldn't do anything. They picked Pudge. He just kept eating mangoes and missing hooks, and then he sucked his mana dry, and it was fantastic. Level 3 Lion, 1/0/2, 1 stun, 2 Mana Drain. Trent, you got to try this.
That sounds terrible.
It's so good, bud. That's a 3K tip out there, folks. All right, that's a 3K grinder.
I mean, there's definitely things that are incredibly broken in lower level Dota that just don't work in high level.
They don't
That's
use
fine.
clarities in the
Yeah,
sub
exactly.
4K bracket. Trust
They
me.
don't buy regen either. Like,
You
they're
know
not
that
gonna
mana
fly
drain
over
also
regen.
slows people now too, so you can combo it with your lane partner. It's not bad. You drain their mana, your Wraith King starts hitting him with his sword. You do the math. Any big hero changes? There are a couple aghanims that we have to talk about.
Yes. I think Batrider got nerfed, right? He needed some nerfs because he's like been support and core. That's probably like the big pro nerf, I would say. Aside from that, they're buffing Alchemist and Arc Warden very slowly, very cautiously, because no one wants them to take over. Beastmaster. Has anyone played Veil Beast? Is that a thing? I kind of want. The second I saw that change, I wondered if it was going to be a thing.
Physical to magical, and axes no longer pierce immunity.
I guess Necros got buffed, so you don't have a choice, unfortunately. Right? Like, even if this magical thing was a path.
I mean, hasn't the problem with Beastmaster for a while, though, been that you want to level up other shit? Like, do you go max axes? Is that the build right now?
No. I mean, Necros got buffed. That's the thing. No, I was just genuinely curious if.
Well, that's
like,
what I mean.
anyone
It's
had
like
tried it.
I feel like the way this hero is structured, you could do a lot of things to make wild axes better, and still no one's going to give a shit about this spell because his other stuff, plus like how it works with the Necros, it's all. I don't know what the point of this spell is or why it's even here. Like, wow,
Cut through
stacking
trees and
debuff.
roar someone. Yeah, they have never done anything with that.
Like,
I remember
woo!
it got added, and everyone was theorizing like, okay, well, after like 5 axes, you'll do like 900 damage or something. It's like, well,
Well,
that's
it's just
so
like,
long.
as if Beastmaster isn't focused on all this other shit than trying to hit axes. You know, he's trying to initiate with his ult. He's trying to scout with the bird. He's trying to micro his goddamn boar and necro units. Like, Beastmaster is not lacking in mechanics or things to take your attention. Like, you don't need one more thing as useless as stacking wild axes debuffs. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Bounty was the most broken one I saw after the patch dropped. I think he got adjusted in A, though.
Janata, what the fuck? I missed this one. Now applies Janata to Shuriken Toss, increases cast range to 650 and lowers cooldown to 6. So you get a crit and steal gold when you Shuriken? Is that...
Yes, yeah.
That sounds real good. And they gave him the old talent switcheroo. They put shuriken damage on the 15 and attack speed on the level 20. That's interesting.
Yeah, I saw Wagga was spamming him a lot, too. I was just, like, stealing, like, 10,000 gold or something.
Dude, that's how... Okay. I had a bounty hunter on my team yesterday that was popping off like crazy, and I didn't really understand why. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, it's something. Brewmaster's another one of these guys who's like slowly getting buffs. He's been getting a lot of buffs lately. Hasn't really stuck though, unfortunately. Immolation Primal split fire permanent immolation interval changed from 1 to 0.5? Did they change the damage? Or wait, does that mean it doubled? I didn't see that. Or did they just change the interval and it's still the same amount of damage? Did his win rate go up by like 10%? Then no. Okay, I'm guessing it didn't double. Doesn't even look like it went up. Probably just the interval of how fast he does damage, I'm guessing.
I mean, I haven't seen him at all. I mean, the aghanims were really what jumped out at me, and I got to talk about this Dazzle aghanims because...
Oh, yes, your boy. Yes, please.
It's been tough for Dazzle, okay? Because his aghanims have always been... dare I say shit. The original, it just kind of boring, buffs up the old Stormcloud ult. You know, it does the minus armor over time. Really old ultimate, pre-rework Dazzle. Boring aghs, but okay. Not really a big reason to buy it. Then they rework him, and we get this AoE grave aghs, one of the stupidest aghanims ever. What scenario do you need to grave 5 people at once or 4 people at once? Terrible aghanims. Then they gave us this one that makes the healing wave dispel. That's what we had before this. Increases cast range and bounces. Honestly, not terrible. I bought it a couple of games. It was like a 5th or 6th slot kind of item. Felt sort of okay, but not particularly good. This new one, I saw this and went, core dazzle, baby. Position 3, position 2. You get a desolator. You're throwing minus armor out onto everybody. This reminds me of the bristleback aghanims so much, Trent. It's good in a vacuum
That makes a
when
lot
you
of
go,
sense. Yeah.
oh, that's cool. But then you look at, okay, what position am I playing and what other items do I need? When do I work the aghanims into my build? And you really struggle to, okay, well, you can't rush aghanims. That's no good. If you go Deso aghanims, you don't really have any mobility or catch. You kind of want Necro Book because of how good that is now and how well it works with your ultimate. It's such a good farming tool. Helmet of Dominator still feels good as a core dazzle because it synergizes with your poison. It moves really fast. So, bristleback conundrum. You got all these other items you got to buy instead. Guardian Greaves are still amazing on core dazzle because you get like half the cooldown.
I think it's also only 800 units, which is a lot, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. You have to be pretty tanky to make use of that many units.
Yeah.
You know?
I think like if you're mid dazzle and you're rolling and you're getting fed, an early aghs could be like a game ender where you just cripple team fights. The only scenario where this is good, so when you stack poison, right? You're in a team fight, you use your poison, it hits every enemy hero. If you're just casting your heals and spells, you're throwing out auto attacks that keep that poison up on everybody. And if that poison stays up, it stacks. So if you let that cooldown finish and you hit them with another poison, they have 2 instances of poison on them, and you can stack as many as you can cast. So this sort of ensures that your poison stays relevant throughout the team fight.
Do you think they needed to reduce the damage talent? Because to me, that says they thought that would be broken if you had this aghanims with plus 75 damage, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that level 10 plus 75 damage talent was very, very strong on core dazzle. So I could see that just being tuned down a little bit anyway, and you add this change on top of it, it feels sort of appropriate. Plus 60 is still a lot. His auto attack hurts. He's got pretty good int gain.
I can tell you about my big disappointment, which was I was casting one of the games for We Play, and there was a Morphling picked versus a Dazzle, and I'm just going to test this now. Because I thought maybe they knew about some bug that would let you get the ultimate. Because you know how, like, if you get Ogre or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still get the double cast, even though it's an ultimate, because it's a passive ultimate.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wondered if maybe, if you had Morphling aghanims and you copied an ally Dazzle, I wondered if when you shotgunned, it would hit everyone around you. I was very disappointed to see the Morphling not do that. So as far as I'm aware, that does not work. It would be a bug, of course. Well, it would be a Dota interaction.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting thought. That is a scenario where that shit could be busted.
It could so easily, like, we've all seen it, you know? Like,
yeah. I see Vimmery said, Dazzle mid, Necro Book, aghs, Silver Edge. Interesting.
Hold on, I'm leveling up. I'm testing this right now,
I mean,
guys.
you do a fuckload of damage. It's hard to pass up Necro level 1 on core Dazzle. It's just so good. And same with Guardian Greaves. A lot of people forget that if you have...
It doesn't work, guys.
Oh. If you have cooldown reduction with Guardian Greaves, it not only reduces the cooldown that you can use them, but it reduces the debuff that you put on people that makes them immune to Guardian Greave instances. So if you have a Dazzle on your team and you think he's going to get level 18, he is by far the best Guardian Greave carrier you're going to get, hands down. You just have a fountain on a 20-second cooldown. Who else can do that shit, dude?
Dazzle. Nobody. That's Dazzle only, my friend.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Testing confirmed. It's no good.
Okay.
I liked the next hero, the Death Prophet change. I thought that was good. It's the Medusa idea. This idea of like putting the speed limit on the ulti. I think it's a good way to bring the hero back. She was like really close to being viable, and I think there were a lot of lineups where you're like, oh, Death Prophet would be so good here, but she's like kind of bad. Like they just need someone to help push towers and a little bit of team fight, and a silence would be really good. But even in those scenarios, teams still weren't picking her. So I think adding in this little bonus to the ulti is really going to help a lot. So big fan.
Yeah, I like it's just a little quality of life change there.
Aside from that, though, the our Earth Spirit, what's up with this, guys? Why you got like crazy good buffs?
I feel like, is anybody picking Earth Spirit? Not that he's
Jarek's
bad.
retired, so they just like buffed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I saw that joke thrown around somewhere. It's like, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
He's definitely fallen out of vogue. I haven't seen him in any of my games. I don't know how much love he's been getting in the pro space.
Everyone wants to play him. Crit's the big spammer for sure. No doubt about that. But I don't know. He's just not the same guy. He's like a single target hero for the most part now. Although they're slowly starting to make him like a little bit better in team fights again.
Yeah.
He like kind of turned into more of an assassination style when they changed the way that like roll and the pull and everything worked. But
I agree with your initial reaction though. Like this is scary territory. Earth Spirit is one of those heroes that gets overtuned very quickly. We all have memories of the broken Earth Spirit era. So seeing that agility gain from 1.5 to 2.4, that level 10 talent, 50 damage to 65, like these are pretty big numbers.
There's one thing about him, and that's he's stupidly beefy. Like he's one of the best strength games in the game, right? Like I'm pretty sure his strength gain is something like really dumb.
Something like that. It always surprises me when I click on, hey, it's a level 3 Earth Spirit with no items with 900 HP. Okay.
Yeah, he's crazy. All right, I'm gonna look at the attribute chart. Attributes, Dota 2. Is it actually the highest? I think it might be.
Oh. Do you ever have those memories where, like, you said something that was just black and white wrong on a broadcast and somebody...
second highest, guys. 4.6, 4.4 for
Who's
him.
number
4.6 is Centaur. Of
Centaur.
course. We all know that. Anyway, continue.
Do you ever have those moments, though, like where you said something that was just objectively wrong in a cast or a panel and then somebody corrected you and then you never forgot that ever again?
Hold on. Let me just search my DM from AUI 2000. Hold on. Was it Skype? Oh, fuck. How long ago was this thing?
Was it Skype? How every good story begins.
Oh, I'm going to find this. Hold on.
Well, while you're
Way
searching,
back.
I will say...
You continue.
Earth Spirit is that for me. I don't remember what we were casting. It might have been at a major or some shit. We were talking about drafting. I said something about Earth Spirit being kind of squishy, and you were just like, bud, I hate to do this, but you are just wrong about this one. You can ask any of these motherfuckers in the room right here. Is Earth Spirit tanky? I guarantee they will all say yes. And I had a moment of, I guess you're right.
Oh, I found it. How come Control F wasn't able to find this? All right, so I got this DM from AUI 2000, November 22nd, 2016. Hi. Instead of saying stuff like he sold his butterfly by accident and it must have been a mistake, I think you should try to at least consider why Aloha Dance makes this choice and say some of the merits or negatives. Number 1, their only physical DPS has MKB. He needs more mana regen to keep pushing lanes. Number 3, he loses the butterfly MS buff that he might need because no boots. Number 4, butterfly is a good DPS item because of Empower. Oh, sorry, Battle Fury. He sold a butterfly to get a... Oh, no, it was a butterfly. Yeah, sorry. His typing's confusing. So basically, I made a mistake in a cast in 2016 because Aloha Dance was fiddling around at the item shop, and it looked like he accidentally sold his butterfly his
Battle Fury.
It's so confusing. No, it was a butterfly. It looked like he accidentally sold it. God, he actually sold his butterfly. That's what it was. Because like he was moving it around in the slots, so we thought that he sold it on purpose, or we thought he sold it on accident. Sorry, this is like a long time ago, and Mott and I like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god, he definitely like, there's no way he meant to sell it right there. It doesn't make a lot of sense." And AOI was like, "Yo, you guys are idiots," basically. But he said it really nicely. But I will never forget that.
As a fellow Canadian lad, of course he had to say it nicely.
He did say it nicely, but then he listed all the reasons why he definitely did not need a butterfly anymore. It doesn't help when he writes B-fly. It's turning into Battle Fury in my brain. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That rendition was like the classic dad moment of trying to read your own handwriting from 10 years ago, where you're just
really
like,
was.
I know this story. Oh wait, was that a bug or a lantern? No. Okay. Another aghanims we got to talk about though. Juggernaut. Very cool aghanims. So
what's it called?
Swift Slash.
Swift Slash. Oh, that sounds
Swift
good.
Slash. He performs a mini Omni Slash that lasts 0.8 seconds, cast range 650, cooldown 10 seconds, mana cost 100. This makes Juggernaut feel like Void Spirit's slightly less powerful cousin. He's just jumping all over the place. I thought this was just okay until I saw it in a game, and Dude, mobility is Jug's problem, and you're always tempted to buy a Blink Dagger on this hero. It doesn't really feel good, but it feels nice to have some kind of little gap closer. Abyssal Blade sort of fills that niche, but it's expensive, not something you're going to go for early. You also need stats on Juggernaut, right? He's a mana-hungry kind of carry. I feel like this is just a great feel-good Aghanims that solves his problem and also gives you some extra mana so you can actually... It is 100 mana, so it is a little mana-intensive, but I'm a big fan of this aghs. I think this is going to become core for Juggernaut.
Core, eh? I haven't got to see it in action. My initial reaction is that cast range 650 sounds pretty hype. That's kind of crazy.
Pretty good.
Now it says mini Omni Slash that lasts 0.8 seconds. How much damage does it do? It's based on your attack speed then, I assume?
Something, yeah.
So like if you have really high attack speed, you're going to do more damage like a normal Omni Slash. Oh wait, no, that's old Omni Slash, right? Hold on.
Oh,
I always forget. My brain is changing it in my head. So new Omni Slash is number of hits. No, it's the attack rate divisor. Old Omni Slash is number of hits. Okay, yeah, that's where my confusion lies. So it'll be based on your attack speed then with the Swift Slash. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it scales
Okay.
with you.
All right.
Sure. But
Pull
to
down
me, the
15.
mobility is just the key thing. It's like any item that gives you mobility and gives you the damage or whatever else you need to be a carry is just so good on Juggernaut.
It seems like one of those ones that's really good if you get it from Roche.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do Healing Ward. If I was Ice Frog, I would have guessed that he would have put it the Aghanims on Healing Ward if he was going to rework it.
Really?
Because I feel like that's what makes Juggernaut get picked.
Is mid-jug viable? Probably in some circumstances. I doubt he can hold his own in every matchup, but I think if you have a matchup where you can farm, sure. I mean, jug mid is always... Throwing a carry mid in a matchup where they can't kill you and you can farm pretty evenly is generally pretty good. It's just matchup specific and how you build the rest of your draft around it. But sure, I'd take a jug mid.
I think... I mean, if he can lane there, it all depends on like the, ever since Poor Man's Shield died, these like agi mid heroes aren't quite as viable as they used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Try to just make it work, Nah, I'm not so sure. Good luck with him though. Maybe it'll work. Okay, Kunkka. Sorry, not Kunkka. Keep it alight. This seems kind of crazy. Why did they just jack the shit out of Will-O-Wisp?
Well,
did you notice that they made all 4 talents make it so it's annoying during his ulti because the blinding light at level 10, like you basically want a blinding light while your ulti's down to stop people from being able to hit it and be a nuisance and bounce them away from it. You got 2 more flickers at level 15. So like instead of it being harder to kill, it now lasts longer. And the meta against Coddle has developed to not killing the Wisp, right? When this change first happened, we were like, oh, kill the Wisp, kill the Wisp. And then it became fuck the Wisp. Like you can't kill it. You can't fight here. Like we just gotta leave. But now all of these are saying fight the flicker. Like you don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah. This makes Coddle a lot better. I don't know what happened. Like, did he get nerfed? Did I miss some of the changes to Coddle that made him less relevant? He seemed like the go-to support for a good while there, and now I don't see him at all. What happened?
I've seen the spammers still play him in pro. Like the guys that are like known for it, it'll still be banned.
Okay.
I noticed like during some like the tier 3, tier 4, tier 2 scene where there's like a couple of Coddle spammers, they still ban it. So maybe.
Hey,
maybe those guys.
Coddle guy in chat. He was OP after TI, and they proceeded to nerf him down. Okay,
that's
slow
true.
and steady.
Now he's getting the build up, right? He'll make his way back.
I enjoy
think he's
playing
probably
Coddle.
a really good pub hero, if I had to guess right now.
Yeah, it looks like maybe I need to bust out some Coddle, dude.
It's his lane is not good. That I would agree with. His laning is like, well, his laning can be good with the right partner. If you like an Ursa or someone that could actually like capitalize on your little bit of like movement stuff, maybe that's okay. But for the most part, he's not this like incredible laner anymore because you can't like spam people out as easily.
Yeah, the blinding light is still annoying though. If you use it right, you can screw up their last hits and stuff. I guess it sort of depends on who you're matched up against too.
You're basically a nuisance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you can jungle a lot. So if you have a guy who can solo lane, being able to like triple stack, you can triple stack on both sides of the river now, either Radiant or Dire as Keeper of the Light.
Ooh.
So that's actually pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Okay, some Coddle buffs there. Moving right
I think those are like
along.
the only big ones. Some people had like longer lists and stuff, but other than that, I don't think anyone was a huge one.
You're
Other
forgetting.
than Snapfire Aghanims, of course.
Of course.
And
Gobble
Void
up.
Spirit, yes.
This is such a weird aghs. I think it's good. I think Snapfire overall is very good. So this is just one more tool in her kit now that she can use to fuck you up. Have you seen this? Has this been picked in the pro games?
I have not seen it in a pro game, but I've seen it. I've seen how it works. It's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, 'cause I've got it in my pubs, and somebody did save me with it and just spit me out, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster right now. I totally lost track of my hero and had that oh shit moment of like, where'd I go? What the fuck what? Oh, I'm inside of Snapfire. It's weird, but cool.
It fits the character. It's a little bit goofy, a little bit wild. I approve. I think it's the right ability to go for. Give her like a brand new ability that uses Mordverse stuff. A+.
Sure. And the one right below that, Spirit Breaker. No longer buffing up the ultimate to do AoE stuff with another strike. Instead, now it's a Charge of Darkness buff. Movement speed increased by 100 and reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds. I think this puts Charge on a 7-second cooldown, something like that.
That sounds right. I think it was 12.
Pretty insane. Again, sort of similar to the
11.
bristleback thing. There's
so
a lot of
6 seconds.
A lot of other items that you want to buy, but I think this
Not
feels
really
better
I mean,
than
you
the other
just need BKB on this hero. I don't think you need any. I think it's actually a good aghs hero.
Spirit Vessel.
I mean, that's pretty good too if you can. Yeah, sure, 100%. But like, I think like earn BKB was like the two big things. But yeah, Spirit Vessel if it's like you really need it for the game.
Yeah.
But usually the BKB is like too important. I think in a lot of matchups, so you often might just want to like skip it. The vessel that is.
Yeah, I think this is the great for the style of Spirit Breaker though. To me, where he really excels right now is just breaking up the back line. There are so many good glass cannon supports, like Disruptor style heroes that if you just leave them untouched, they fuck up the team fight so hard. But if you can isolate them, it swings it the other way. And this just makes it so much easier to do that. You can charge in the back line, run away, charge again until they buy Nullifier, of course. But you know.
It's a buff to Drunk Dota. I mean, when you have a couple beers, there's no better hero than Spirit Breaker. And now his item build is simple, right? You just get yourself some stats, some KB, then you aghs them. It's good.
Yeah.
I always had a lot of fun with this. Oh, is this why you went that Sven game? The base movement speed increased by 5? You got lured into picking Sven?
Yeah, I'll tell you
You're
what.
Like,
It was
he
that
must
buff
be
there.
Good now.
Dude, I'm cruising now, baby. From camp to camp.
Oh yeah, this one, the Metamorphosis Scepter is now a standalone ability you gain while Metamorphosis. Big fan of that. Thank you. The old version was stupid. I thought that was like the dumbest aghs on Terrorblade, right? Where it had like the instant fear thing or whatever, right?
Well, it's so stupid because it's sort of like, all right, I'm saving Metamorphosis until the fight breaks out. And usually, like, you want somebody on your team to initiate, and you're in meta, and that's what does all the damage to kill somebody before the fight starts. Like, if you're already initiated on before you've used the meta, you're probably not in a good spot as Terrorblade. And there are definitely times where you don't want people pushed away from you when you're casting Metamorphosis. You're next to him, you just want to fucking kill him. So I'm with you. This is how it should have been when it came out, dare I say.
Yes. Yeah, I did not really understand the old version. So thank you, Ice Frog and Valve for fixing that one.
But it was always, I mean, to be fair, it fits the lore of Terrorblade. It feels like he is the hero that just has the most random spells mashed together. He's got an ultimate on his E, and then his ultimate is just this random, like, well, why wouldn't you want to just displace life? It doesn't synergize with anything else you do, but it's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this one. Our boy, Undying. He finally got fixed with everyone having a free stout shield.
So they increased the zombie damage to make up for the difference.
Yeah, so all melee heroes getting their free stout shield. Finally, Undying got his 10 damage back. It only took like 6 months or whatever.
Oh, great. Well,
surely he'll be back now.
I am still on the anti-Undying train. I think, well, depending on what tier you are in solo queue, Undying could be okay. Given how much just crazy deathballing there's been in my pub games, maybe Undying has a place, but in a vacuum, in strategic higher-level Dota, I think Undying is still just not... He just doesn't bully enough, and he doesn't push enough that you can't close out the game in a window where you're still relevant. I can't remember the last time I saw an Undying like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about kind of game. It just doesn't happen anymore. He fucking sucks.
He used to be the big boy. You know, he's got to take a couple of years off. He'll be back. Don't worry.
I guess
Just you
there's
wait.
some.
It's like Gyro, dude. He'll be back.
There's some witty quarantine joke here with him being a zombie and whatnot. He's in his own space for now. He'll come back in a year or
he's
so.
definitely isolated when it comes to patch notes.
Yeah.
Gets 1. That's it. Ursa got super buffed, and everyone got all psyched up about it. And then he got a couple nerfs in A, but they didn't take away like the 50% status resistance. He gets to keep that. I was surprised to see that, and I hate it. I'm not a big fan of status resistance. I think it's fine. I don't hate it balance-wise. I just hate playing against it because it gets confusing and annoying when you're a support and your whole job is like stacking control, and you look away
Yeah.
for a second at the Ursa you just stunned, and suddenly he's eating you. And you're like, oh, right, that dissipated much quicker than I expected.
I'm okay with it being kind of a niche mechanic. I mean, you can buy it, right? It is on Sanj, but as long as not too many heroes have status resistance too readily available, I'm fine with it as a mechanic. I hated it when it was built into everybody as part of your strength multiplier.
Oh,
or
God,
whatever.
that was the worst
That
thing
was
that ever
just
happened to Dota.
painful. But as long as in your head you can go, okay, Spirit Breaker, Ursa, 2 heroes with status resistance abilities, I know that I have to calibrate my stuns or abilities around this. That's different from just going, hey, I don't know what my stun does anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Not too much jumped out at me. They did put an Aghanims onto the Void Spirit. Just gives it 2 charges on the old Resonance Pulse and silences for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to end up being core for these like 3-position Void Spirits. Unless it's like a really bad game for Silence for some reason. Having a second charge of Resonant Pulse is always going to be good. And then, Silence is usually extremely valuable. So,
yeah.
I've already seen it a couple times in pro games and it looked super strong. Usually just after Yules, if you're position 3, just go Yules into the Aghanim Scepter. And you are a nuisance to play against. In fact, speaking of Void Spirit, I actually just watched Vaposhka play position 5 Void Spirit.
Whoa.
And it was pretty good. That was game 2 of Hellraisers versus Na'Vi with OD Pixel and S4, so obviously recommend. But that was pretty cool.
Huh. I mean, I guess he does have the taunt thing. It's a disable. It's a great support skill.
Yeah, the only problem, of course, is going to be the lane, right? The lane should be really bad for the hero. But
yes.
Some of his other abilities, like it's cool having that mobility. It's probably not going to become some top tier position 5, but it is always there just for the flexibility during the draft because that means you now have options to put him on 5, 3, 2, or even 1. I mean, we've seen Safely Void Spirit plenty as well. So I'm sure position 4, he'd probably be all 5, actually, now that I think about it.
Little quality of life change to the old Witch Doctor. I forgot about these changes. Oh, this one got me so excited. I don't know why. Why did they buff this hero? I thought Witch Doctor was already bustedly strong.
He's not good.
And he kills shit. And now you less mana on Paralyzing Cask. I'm so excited. I'm stuttering here. Death Ward no longer has a bounce limit when you have Aghanims. Dude, this is the shit. You can actually pick Witch Doctor into PL now, rush the Aghanims, and you can fuck his day up as a position 4, and I can tell you there is no more satisfying feeling in the world than watching that motherfucker man up on you with all those illusions. Then you pop that Glimmer Cape, and he's standing there with his thumb up his ass, watching all of his little buddies die. I tell you, Trent, Witch Doctor. Free MMR, bud.
Not a fan. Don't think it's good.
Witch Doctor.
Love the hero. One of my favorites. Don't think he's that great right now.
I'm gonna play Witch Doctor today just for you, bud. I'm gonna make a highlight reel of my biggest Witch Doctor plays and show you what it's all about.
I'm very ready to watch that. I think this is a lot
Unlimited
better vibes
bouncing.
right now. He is. If you have confidence in your position 1 player, Witch Doctor can be good because he can give you a good lane. He can give you kill opportunities. Maledict's pretty cool. It can zone out a lot of different offlaners. But
I play in the
mid
4,
game,
dude.
like.
Fuck the 5. I'm playing the 4. I want to kill the end. I want to kill Spectre at level 3. I want to kill Ogre as soon as I got 2 points in Maledict, dude.
All right. Well, good luck stunning people in the mid game as the position 4, and your team needs you to.
What do you
'Cause it
mean?
can
You
be
can
very
stun people.
hard.
You got a cask. You just throw it in there.
It's a cask, dude. You should not be getting off a stun on an important hero.
You just throw
with
it
a
in there.
cask.
Well, that's why you go Glimmer Cape first item, so you can throw it in there in the right spot. Glimmer Cape
so
aghs.
when is your aghs coming?
Glimmer Cape, second item. So
Where's your BKB?
after the aghs, you go Arcane Boots, Glimmer Cape, Aghanims, BKB. That's the build, 100%.
If that's your build, your Aghanims has nothing to do whether you won or not.
Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree, dude. You've never turned a mid-game fight at 25 minutes on Witch Doctor with the Aghanims?
You have aghanims and Glimmer Cave and Arcade Boots at 25 minutes.
And that 9-game win streak, at least a third of those, I bet I had both those items before 30 minutes in a third of those games. You kill shit with Witch Doctor, dude. I'm not talking pro level. Remember, this is like 3 to 4K pubs, but Mallet, compared to a lot of other supports, if you lane with anyone that does damage, Centaur, Snap, even like a Sven who can just throw a stun, you're getting kills with Maledict all day, dude. You go 2-0-3 at level 5. You max out the Maledict, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the curse, baby. That talent that you were shitting on, the extra range to Maledict, I get it every fucking game. And every time I click on it, I think of you, bud, and I go, Trent, he thinks he knows Witch Doctor. This guy.
Okay.
Oh, he is fun though. He is
very fun. I love Witch Doctor.
He's a great lower solo
But
queue
here's
hero.
the problem.
Because you
Every
can
pub
support.
game has the fluid hero. It has the Anti-Mage, it has the Ember Spirit, it has the PA, it has the something that Cask sucks ass versus. That is why Witch Doctor is annoying and bad a lot of times.
At some point, I do expect my team to do something. I can't kill them all, man.
You can't expect that, dog. That's why I'm saying you're not doing anything. If you win a game going aghs, Glimmer, or Glimmer into aghs, like there's no way you did it. Someone else in your team already won that game.
No, that's definitely that is hyperbole for sure. The position 4 has got a lot of control in solo queue, dude. That's as we talked about. If you fuck on their carry, it ruins the whole momentum of the game for them. If you're trading kill for kill in the off lane, if you're position 4 and you're just trading their safe lane, you get farmed pretty fast. It's not like you're just this poverty Witch Doctor with no items.
Witch Doctor.
What?
How are you going to start a team fight as a position 4 Witch Doctor? That makes no sense.
Why do I have to start the team fight? What's my position 3 doing? Why can't my Centaur start a team fight?
I just assume your position 3 sucks.
Well, I mean, with Witch Doctor, you're setting them up to succeed, man. I just have to hit them with a curse and say, Centaur, just hit them with your shit, and then they die. You're setting up. That's the thing. Your position 3 sucks, so you pick a position 4 that makes it easy for them, so then your position 3 gets lifted up a little bit. That's how you win pubs, Trent. You got to lift up your teammates.
Okay.
You got to pick
well,
them up.
I will say one thing. It looks like Witch Doctor's doing okay right now. He's got like almost 50% win rate in Immortal. It's not bad.
See? Look at that.
Almost. Yeah.
Now
he has 50% win rate in let's see, Archon and lower. There you go.
There you
so
go.
Once you get over Archon, guys, stop picking him. Who's the biggest winner in Legend? Let's see. In the Legend bracket, it's Meepo. Well, that's not surprising.
50% win rate for a position 4? That's not bad, though. I mean, it's not like Witch Doctor's dog shit or unpickable or something.
You keep saying Witch Doctor position 4, and something in my head just wants to snap.
Well, all right, fine. Position 4, I'm just saying 50% win rate as a support hero is not bad in Immortal. That's not bad. He's pickable. He's playable.
Yeah, but there's better, Sayori. That's the problem.
Well,
Bane's at almost 56% right now, guys.
That's surprising.
Lycan is number 1, as Pop Dart's saying. He's currently at 63%. Get your Lycan games in, guys.
Dang.
And he's not even just top tier. He's crushing it in pretty much all brackets. 55% Legend, 58% Ancient, 63% Immortal.
All right,
the better
Lycan's
you get,
just
the easier it is to win.
Fucking busted. All right, Pop-Tart's spreading truth, dude. That's the MMR.
Yeah, he's the good one.
Okay.
Why was Bane totally busted?
I don't know.
I remember there was something good.
Really
Hold on.
surprised.
Let me go back. He did get some sort of a buff. And what was? Oh, did he not get a buff?
He did not
Oh,
get
maybe that
touched
was last patch, right?
in
I know he
7-2-5.
got a buff recently that was really good. Because I remember thinking Bane's gonna be really good now.
7-2-4. He was not touched either.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm just crazy.
7.23.
Bane's just pretty ownage at the moment. So there you go. He's a super solid laner, right? As he always has been. Everyone's playing dual lanes a lot of the time. Bane's pretty good in dual lanes. Bully with a lot of your allies.
Yeah.
Something definitely got changed with him.
So the Outlanders patch was the last time Bane got changed. That was when he had the ability rework for Enfeeble, now a
Oh
passive.
yeah, that was really good.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Brain Sap changed from pure to magical, but now does 400 damage at level 4 instead of 300 to make up for it.
I wonder if it was because of his the other heroes getting nerfed. He might be getting picked more too. Could be something
Yeah.
like Lich and Snapfire slowly getting worse. Perhaps that's why he's getting picked up more. And people are like, "Oh, this guy's actually like kind of busted."
I mean, Bane has so many great mechanics that I'm very hard pressed to ever say that like Bane is bad with a BKB piercing disable, but I am very surprised to hear that win rate.
Yeah, that's really high. And it's only really
58.
actually no, it's pretty good in all brackets. All right. Well, anyway, I have 2 kids at home, and I think my wife's dying upstairs, so
All right.
I need to go.
So
Sorry,
I'm going
guys.
to go play some Witch Doctor. So you have fun, and Pop Tart and I are going to join the North America's finest on this Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, why don't you guys go start grinding it out on a Tuesday?
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So was there anything else? I think that's it.
No, we'll be covering We Play next week.
Yes,
because it's just ending right now. I think Sunsfan and Cinder are about to start casting, I believe, on the We Play channel. So that'll be a lot of fun doing the North American Grand Final. So go enjoy that for the evening.
And we may have a guest coming up in future episode, maybe plural, trying to rig up a couple of guest stars to talk about the current state of Dota and exciting time ahead. I think once We Play wraps up, I bet there's going to be more announcements around the corner of what's coming in the Dota 2 world. Everyone is hungry for content and competition. So where there's a will, there's a way. I've resorted to blogging. I posted some top 10 lists. I'm going to do more of that stuff, and we're going to stream. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.